Hey folks, Junior back with another video on this Cutlass. Today I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna go around it and finish up some little things on it, get it running right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pump all the gas out of the tank. I think that's a lot of the reason why it was running like it was in the last video. And also I've got that oil leak over there I've got to fix. If you watched the end of my last video, you'd know that I was throwing oil out the side of the engine here, and the reason it to be is shit, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, you see a hole right there in front of my finger. Get you up here. I had the oil pan off this back a couple winters ago, and I guess them 2 bolts right there wasn't put back in, so I gotta find a couple bolts, put in that and bolt it back up. I went and got some more oil for it, and I got a squeaky belt here, alternator belt. See, what I've done right now is I ain't got the power steering on, so I had to find a belt that bypassed the power steering that would fit tight enough, you know, to spin the water pump and everything. And it's not quite, you can see, it's not quite tight. It's squeaking. I don't like that. But right now I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna get this pump, and I'm gonna pump all this old gas out of this tank. Okay, everybody, we got the shifter done. Everything's hooked up. So now I've got to go back down underneath, and I've got to disconnect the cable to the shifter again, because I've got to drop the pan on the transmission, put a new gasket, and I'll put a new filter up in the transmission. So we're going to get to that now, but everything's hooked up. It's all bolted down. My camera shut off on me in the middle of doing that, and I had to go and tap out a couple of mounting points where the console and the boot will screw down to keep it in place. And then also I had to go around, and this is all plastic. These screws screw down into this plastic console. So I had to go through and tap all them plastic holes out and thread them. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a different shift knob because I don't like that one. I don't know what to say about this B&M shifter. This is the star shifter here, and I don't know, man. We'll see, you know. I noticed one thing on it though. It does have a pretty tight spring here. There's all the way down low gear right there, and I'm supposed to be able to drop all the way down so I can bump shift it, but it's not working for some reason. There it goes. There it goes. Yeah, I guess it is working, but it needs to be kinks need to be worked out in a little bit. It's a little rough. Some adjustment, I guess. Once I get this transmission gasket put on, I gotta reinstall the brake pedal and the accelerator pedal. I'm gonna powder coat the brake pedal and the throttle cable. But as of right now, the only thing I gotta unhook really is just this end right here. Take that Carter key that I made back out, and all it is just a piece of a paper clip that I cut off. Okay folks, I'm back in the shop right now. I brought this pan with me off the transmission to show you something. You know, the fluid looks pretty clean, right? Until you start moving your finger around the bottom of the pan here. And I bring up that. Now, when I bought this transmission in 2004, excuse me for the camera angle, but when I bought this transmission in 2004 off the shelf at a transmission shop, the guy told me it had been rebuilt like 6 months to a year before that, and it just sat on the shelf, and it just sat on the shelf, and he had, you know, there wasn't even no seals or anything in it. So I took him at his word that transmission had been rebuilt, because he told me, you know, it had shift kit and all that in it and everything. Well, I got in 2004. My car was parked, well, I say it was parked way before 2007 because I didn't drive it that much. When I come back from Florida to Indiana, I brought the Cutlass back on a car hauler. I didn't drive it. and you know, I might get it out and drive it around town, you know, sometimes. But other than that, the car wasn't drove that much until 2007 when I parked it. And you know, like I said, I didn't bother to drop the pan or anything like that on. I took the guy at his word. The transmission was clean and everything. It looked like it, you know, had been rebuilt. And like I said, I took his word. And so, if this transmission was rebuilt, why does it have all this in it? And black, and you can feel pieces of clutch in it. But the time I drove the car with the tranny in it, never had no problems, you know, it pulled fine, shit fine, you know. Seemed like a pretty good transmission. But from what I'm seeing here, I'm saying that, you know, I was lied to, that this transmission has never been rebuilt. They just took this out of the car and cleaned it up and stuck it on a shelf and tagged it as, you know, refurbished. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this pan out. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna clean this pan out and take it down here to AutoZone or O'Reilly's or somewhere and get a new gasket and filter. And I got a little trick I'm going to do here to kind of catch any pieces that are floating around in the fluid. And so let's get at it. I'm going to go get this gasket and we'll get right back at it. Okay, so I had to go, and last night I went to get the gasket and everything I needed, and they didn't have it in stock, so they had to order it. And I went and picked it up this morning. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, it's the next day. And I'm going to get this pan cleaned up here. Get this gasket put on. It's the good gasket too. It's the rubber gasket. New gasket, new filter. I didn't realize that you had a gasket in between the filters, so I'm going to have to check for the old one because it didn't come off with the old filter, so it must still be stuck up inside the tranny. So let's set this camera up here somewhere where you can see what's happening. Move that out the way. I've got a problem with my camera just wanting to shut off by itself. I don't understand that. It cuts off right in the middle of my video, so I apologize for it getting cut off like that, which you'll probably never know because I'll edit it. Alright, we'll give it a couple more minutes. What I was saying was, I don't know if the camera cut off or not, but I'm just putting these sockets on here just to weight it down where I put the sealer at. Let it sit there for about 10-15 minutes. You don't want to let it cure up all the way, because then when you go to bolt your pan in, that's going to leave gaps in between your gasket and your pan, and you'll have leaks everywhere. So don't let it fully dry. You know, you want to get it up in there and get that RTV, you know, smashed. Get her to start up here. Got the oil change. I got the gasket changed on the transmission, new filter. Got the shifter hooked up. Changed the gas out. I just put new oil in it. Fix the oil leak. Hopefully we'll find out. Push this top forward over here so it'll tell me if the gas is leaking. Well, okay, it's looking like I still got an oil leak over here, so I'm going to have to take that right side of my exhaust manifold off to get at them bolts so I can take that piece off and put a new gasket on it. So I'm not going to attempt to start it anymore. Until I get this oil leak fixed. Which I'm going to be busy this weekend, so I don't know if I can get at it or not this weekend. I'll try. I might be able to get at it later on today after it cools down some. It's just so damn hot. Well, alright, I guess that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll get you in the next video. Thanks for watching.